any sort of anything popping up? Sheesh, I can't swear. She's. I think I've had the same issue that Mercs and various others have had. Because I'd done the settings and I ticked it where it was allowing me to obviously have 100% volume for party chat, which I was assuming was going to help people hanging. I can hear myself. I can hear myself echoing. It's not a good thing. That worries me why we haven't. Right, so we have. Why am I even checking weather? I know Darnell's put it in there, but let's be honest, it's Jeddah. It's not going to rain here. I looked at it and went, we're in Saudi Arabia. I was going to say, it's not going to rain. 41% at 10 minutes, then it drops off again. I mean, there could be a drizzle. Could you imagine driving a Formula 2 car in this type of condition? I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for round 12 of the Formula 2 Championship here on Summit League Racing. We have potentially a title decider. Possibly. There's a lot of points in offer today in the title fight. We are at the home of Newcastle United Football Club. We are at Saudi Arabia. We are here in Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Triple header, in fact, tonight, as we'll have 2 sprint races and we'll have the feature race as well. I don't think you can hear him, but joining me in the comms box, my former teammate from a long, long time ago, a very long time ago, it is Division 2 driver, it is Ellis. I don't know if you can hear him, if he'll say a few words, we'll see if people can hear him. Which is going to put me under a lot of pressure now for the fact that I've got to blather about for 3 races on my Todd, but we'll see what pops up if they did here. We have we've got a wild Ferrari in the chat. We have CSC Morris. Here we go, this is the pressure lap. I want to see if we get a better camera. So we've got the onboard, we've got that. I'm terrible with the direction of these, so we'll probably just flicker through people, but we'll go on with whoever is looking likely to win a good lap. Crispy, well, he's a leader. He's in the Dams car with of Marcus Armstrong. You can see here. I'm really intrigued to see how these drivers take it, because I felt like when I've been driving it in an F1 car, it's been quite a tricky car to keep on the track within limits. I'll let you see the onboard here. You can just see the kind of lines that he takes, you know, and like you're really putting the pressure on the car. Like one wee slide here, you could be out of bounds, and then before you know it, that's you at the back of the grid. But you can see here he's getting up to turn, I believe this is turn 13, and then we track map earlier. Shock Metal, he's going to be starting at the back of the grid. Baggy will be down there as well. Maybe that's a good thing, avoiding the carnage. And Division as well with the retirements. The 3 guys have fallen victim to the track already. Morris says we can't hear. Look, well, that's that confirmed. But interestingly enough, so Corey in the lead, Beast Assassin second, Darnell third, Roller fourth, Crispy fifth. But saying that, with what's on the line for Crispy, it wouldn't necessarily be the worst place to be, because you're kind of like picking up points left, right and centre. Quite impressed here, by the way. Dodgy, we're just going to go on board with the David Beckman Campos racing car. 6th place, that's pretty good for Dodgy. As I say, I think the Evil class is still a thing. I'm assuming if it is, then he'll be one of the top dogs in that. See who gets a really good exit here. Roller I can see going up the timesheets. I think we could be looking at a front row of Corey leading Roller with Beast Assassin and Crispy on the second row. Yeah, confirmed there. Darnell and Dodgy. Paraquix with the disqualification there at the end. That's going to see him down to 16th place. I think we saw there James there, possibly with either an invalidation or a DNF. We'll have a wee look. So Corey takes the 4 points for qualifying. And Roller in the Prema. Let's have a wee look to see how many people. So I think it was a DNF for James, for James. Paraquix with a DSQ. it's quite. This is what I love about Formula 2. There's drivers here that have been in the top division, the McEwen division. There's people for Division 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's just a perfect combination of every single division. And there's people here that you know have got pace in an F1 car, and if they put it together they can do some really good things. There's some good qualifying, I'd say. It's impressive there. Josh in the top 8. I'm trying to think, does that put ads possibly on pole? I think it's top 10. This is the problem when you change from Formula rules to Formula rules the next season, and you're like, what one is it? You learn the liveries as well from last season, and then you learn the new liveries, and we're back to this. What I'm intrigued to see happen as well is, with Formula 2, I know in real life there was one race where the running was on, was at night, but whether they do both races here or all three, in the lighter conditions, the cool, possibly warmer temperatures, that could affect the tyre life and the tyre degradation. That's one thing to keep an eye on. But remember, both sprint races, none of these drivers are... pit stop's not compulsory. They don't have to take a pit stop, unless, of course, they get some horrible wing damage, which, round about here, you don't particularly want to have, because that could be quite costly. So get the leaders away for a first formation laps. It's going to be 10 laps in these sprint races, and it is going to be 14 for your feature race. Let's see if we can get all the data that we can get. We'll give you a track map if you want it. We'll give you the lap data, telemetry, and let's go with tyre lifespan and your interval to person ahead. So it's going to be ads on the reverse pole. Then it'll be Monkey in P2, Josh in P3. Try to see whose car that is. We'll get the onboardies in Jehandro Ruvala's Carlin racing car, of course. Now move to Prima. Got Southerner there in the ART. Is that the Theo Porture car? This is the problem, I think he's changed as well. Dodgy 5, Darnell in P6, 6 in Jack Aitken's car. Crispy in 7, Beast Assassin in 8th, Race Roller in the Bobby Schwartzy car in P9. Felipe Dragobic's Virtuosi car is going to be P10, and then we've got likes of Mason Gavin and the Trident, Jaylee Menz with Dan Ticktum, and the Callum Racing, a man that's not had a great life in Formula E, it has to be said so far. And we've got the F1 driver, of course, Joe Guan Yu, or as we're so used to call him, Guan Yu Zhou. And the other Yuri Virtuosi car, we've got Owen with the Champions car of Oscar Piastri, hopefully Sierra Williams soon. And then we've got the Theo Porture RT, sorry, of Bennett that has that. Get the Little Shark, Fittipaldi, I don't know why he's first name, Enzo, there we go, has escaped me, but Enzo Fittipaldi's Chirou's racing car. James in the Ralph Boschon Campos racing car. Liam Lawson's High Tech. Shot Metal in the Deleda car. Well, at least it's gone faster than usual. And Roy Nassar, God, what a team that was there. Roy Nassari, right at the end there. You can tell there's some drivers in the F2 world that I don't really rate too highly, but ads will back everyone up. He'll make sure his tyres are up to optimum temperature. Everyone here will be running the soft tyre. I'm assuming the feature race will either be... In fact, would it be possibly even going down to the soft and then maybe the super soft? Because obviously Formula 2 still utilises those tyres. We'll see what happens here. You could see a lot of contact at turn 1. We've got a spinner. I don't know who that is. I'll let you flick through. And it is the Prema racing car of Owen. And Bennett, sorry. I just saw, I clicked on Owen, he was way behind, and then you're right, Bennett as well. It must be good to spin and not get a 5-second penalty or a collision. And then cold tyres on the start grid. So we'll try and give you the onboard perspective of maybe one of the cars further back, maybe 3 or 4, just to see how good everyone's launch is from the start. So we'll maybe sit on board with, let's go with Darnell. He's in this contention for the championship. We'll see if we can stick with that, just to see how good his launch is and how everyone is round about him. You can hear the lights, you can't see them from here, and you can see there Silver got quite a slow start. Darnell's a really bad one there. That was who went down there? There was somebody, I think it was maybe Beast Assassin. Somebody had a really poor start there. But dodge up to P3 here, and we'll try and give you the full carnage at the back and see if anything unfolds behind, but we can see Crispy there battling. There's a few guys kind of getting the elbows out. Oh, we've got a spinner, and that is Darnell, and there's a bit of chaos. There's another car round there. Try to see who that was. Possibly Jaylee Men's, Baggy involved and stuff as well. We've got a yellow flag, any sort of there. There's a Prema. Jaylee Men's just getting back into action, but we'll try and jump back up the front. So, chaotic look, very chaotic. And that's it. If you've got damage here as well, you're in a really, really compromised position. Oh, and there's Ads into the bit of the wall. I don't know if he's got wind damage there, but the right of the car right into the wall, and it's a punishing circuit. And obviously that possibly could have, lessened where he was going there, maybe lose a bit of momentum. And if we got on board with Josh, you can see he's trying to line him up. Obviously there's no overtake mode here, there's no DRS for another 2 laps. And it looks like Ads is going to get away with it so far as they come round that final long straight, which is practically half of this circuit. But oh, we can see there he's struggling. We'll try and get the onboard again. We can see it from Dodgy. Is he going to get it? Is Josh going to make the move? See if we can jump up to his onboard. He's in the slipstream of Ads. He takes the inside line halfway over towards the pits. He's going to box him in, but surely he's going to get the move done. Place his car in the perfect position, and that is going to be a new race leader. Have we got damage? I've got Mason Gammon. It's an easy place to pick up time penalties, so Mason Gammon falling victim to that. First and foremost, get a move back there. Follow Corey here because he's in this battle of Crispy and UK Beast Assassin, of course. Crispy, with where Darnell is, down in 15th place, puts him in a position where he can kinda... He can take a 5th place, a couple of 5th places will be good. Yeah, it seems to be a line stirring there. I'm seeing there, as you say, he's nearly out within a second of Josh. Dodgy's right behind him, even Southerner's getting kind of caught in this, and you feel like if Dodgy doesn't get him in this back straight, then as soon as DRS is enabled, I think that's going to be the opportunity for that move to happen, if I'm being honest. And you can see I'm going to go right on board with Dodgy here because you can see he's lining him up. I like the onboard because you can get an idea of just the difference in momentum, the difference in entry and closing speed just when that damage is a factor. But I jumped it side by side. But who's going to get the better drive coming out the corner? I think this one. This one could be down to... Who's going to get it? Oh. Neither seems to want to back out at all. It's close. And they've managed to avoid putting either in a wall so far. I say so far, don't jinx it. And Crispy manages just to retain ahead, but some good battling there. And as I say, if you're Josh at this moment in time, if Ads get damaged, you're out of here. Bolt. Get your foot down and pull that gap. But as I say, we're into lap 3. DRS will soon be a factor here. And quite a few people, as I say, are still within the DRS range. As I say, the big gap is obviously 1 and 2, and then Mason Gammon's fallen out with the DRS of Race Roller. We move their Division and Darnell. Let's see if we can catch that one. That's a very tidy move there. It looks like it's going to be completed. And it is by Darnell, so good move there. Using the elevation change there to on the bank in to get the oh no, there's a collision. That's Mason Gammon that was round. I don't know if that picked up anyone for damage. I'm not too sure what the ghosting rules are here. But Dodgy's really closing in his Ads as we try and get the onboard again. He's got the DRS. Is he going to have enough to make the move? The entry speed's good. He's taking him. And he's by him. And the thing is as well, you imagine as soon as Southerner pounces, Crispy's going to pounce, and then there's a nice wee battle behind as well. I'm going to try and follow 2 battles at once here. You can see them lining up astern and free them! Dragging along. What's he got? The thing is as well, as I said earlier, look at the gap Josh is pulling out. 2 seconds already, this squabbling. If I'm Josh, I don't even pay attention to this, I just drive. I get away from them. He's like... Oh. And that is Darnell that's went. I don't know if I'm going to get a driver. I'm going to jump on my monkey to see if I can get it. Ads has been passed by Dodgy. I was hoping we were going to get some sort of safety car to give me an idea of where this is taking place. And we're not, so we'll get back to the battles at the front because it's getting pretty hectic here. Dodgy's back in front. But you can see the train. I haven't seen such a train since Fernando Alonso at Monaco, where they are just completely... Well, at least here they've got a chance of overtaking. But it's just one car after the other after another. And who is going to make it all? He's in a really, really good position. Who's going to make a move? Is Crispy going to make one here? Look at the ball, there's at least 6 cars in that squabble, maybe even 7. Shoot. And the thing is, if you're Ad, you can't really pick to fix the damage because you lose too much time and it's going to affect you in the next race. There's a little bit of banging wheels at the front there. And I think that was... Oh! That was the Marcus Armstrong car there. And oh, and there's somebody's wing, possibly. Oh, it was... Oh, it is brutal. Got some moves here as well. I don't know if... Is Beast getting any damage? Can you check that for us? He seems to be a wee bit kind of... We'll have a wee look into that one, we'll see what we can find. But they're going to go again because there's more DRS. We've had it confirmed Beast with the end plate damage. That's going to be painful for him as we're only halfway through. I'm going to try and get this move with Chris because this is where he's going to really attack Ads because Dodgy has gained the seconds. So if he can keep going, Ads is going to have a lot of pressure here to try and make that, stay in the DRS, give himself the best opportunity. But this roller as well, this is one that could happen. We'll take a better look at that as he battles with Southerner. I think he's going to have the DRS going forward as well, although to be fair, half the grid has DRS. There's so many, I don't know what to watch here, there's 2 good battles going on there as Crispy gets by Ads. And the thing is though, with the drive and the DRS and the tow, I would not be surprised if Southerner can possibly take both of them. Let's see how they do here. Roller's backed out of it. Let's get punchy. Oh, just get my breath back after that. Some great racing there. Well, Crispy's going to try and plough on. So I'm wondering as well now, Crispy's got away. So he's 1.3 seconds off. Ads is doing well to keep within his DRS, which is quite good, but it's that battle behind Southerner. You can see there that they're all just line of staring. What we're intrigued to see is if Crispy does eat into that gap of Dodgy. I know it's only 4 laps to go, but you know, tyre degradation could be a thing. And as I say, I know certainly from my experience I like to get a couple of laps and then properly get into a swing of things. So it could take, maybe lap 7, lap 8 and then start putting in those purple sectors and really pushing for it when they actually have the clean out. We'll jump down to that. Tell you one thing, Saudi, your TV coverage isn't the best. Oh, we're on board, roll up. is going to be battling with Corey. Southerner is going to be battling with Ads. We'll try and get all two battles into once. Roller with the... Oh, he sent it! He said it too much. He sent it into the Shadow Realm. And Ads did that bit of damage there. And Roller's backed off there. Whether he has damage or just his feeling it's sporting integrity as James picks up a penalty. Ads takes up P6, but that damage is costing him a long, long way here. And out of all this, Southerner's got away, Corey's got away, and yep, fantastic battle. I completely agree. But hey, it's not over yet. Beast is just roughly about with a second of Corey. A bit of car management here to see who can get their car across the line. But I'm going to check their number of Ads. Let's see what kind of attack he can make on Beast here. Crispy's just closing in slightly on Dodgy. We'll keep a wee eye on that one. Oh, and there's a wee bit of bump draft in there as a lot of them decide to take the line the other side of the curb there. Keep that as a wee learning point for the weekend ahead. Wink, wink. Let's see with Ads here, if the DRS is going to make a move on Beast. Is he going to go for the inside? Is he going to send it? He backs out. Because maybe he's fought here. It's maybe more wiser to take the second DRS, you know, as they did in the real F1 race, and drag along that home straight, but they're parking. Beast is parking the car as they notice that Roller's going to be there as well. And Roller takes P6 ahead of Beast in 7. And then Ads in P8. A little bit of switching there between Paraquix and Marsh as they are really well. If we quick look at that battle there. And well, I think he has to now. Look, with that penalty, he's got to put himself in the best position possible. So he's really just got to keep driving. Oh god. I think the two of them took the same line there. I just saw two of them. the two MP Motorsport cars there, and I completely whirled over their own there. I think it was a fastest lap I think I saw from, I want to say, I missed it. Somebody's name flashed up as fastest lap. Oh, we get a yellow flag. And that's a damaged front wing. And that is not a surprise. And that's a long way back to the pits for divisionals. We've got moves again. I'll try and... I'm not the best at directing. But here's Connie right in the back of Race Roller. The Bobby Schwartzy and the Felipe Drugovich cars here. And Roller has just let him go. Now maybe it's tactical to get the DRS here, but you don't want to give yourself such a loss in momentum that it puts yourself on the back foot, unable to make a moves. And we told you earlier on about the pace of Crispy here into Dodgy's lead, Dodgy's second place. Josh's lead is another realm. But Crispy is a man on a mission here in this DRS tow. When it happens, he's got 2 laps. Would you roll him out even catching Josh? Although Josh's pace has been really, really good. Because if you're Dodgy as well, you realise there probably won't be too much of a difference between second and third place in a sprint race. Do you take a quite comfortable third place? Because you've got a nice wee gap to the cars behind. We've got a nice wee... Oh, it's a battle behind as well. Between Roller, Corey, Beast and Ads. Oh, check out, we've not really seen them on the stream as much, but the one between Jaylee Menz and Bennett, you get James involved as well. Note that for the week ahead, but we'll jump back up to Crispy. He's got the DRS. Is Dodgy going to make it difficult, or is Dodgy just going to accept his fate? He's battling, but it's an inside line for Crispy. Dodgy's going to keep it round the outside. Let's see. I think Dodgy get the DRS out of that, so it might have been sensible for Dodgy there. A bit of tactical battle there. And Dodgy is going to retain second place. So good stuff there. One more battle. It's going to be a race to the line regarding that. Jumped out of that. And you can see there. Is it going to go again? Oh, a bit wobbly there. But the two are going to go side by side. Just ahead is Jaylee Menz there. Crispy picks up a penalty. That's massive. Beast Assassin picks up a second penalty. So we could... Well, I think Crispy will be fine because realistically it's a 5-second gap to Southerner. But a lot of these guys could have big implications going into that second race when you add in the time penalties. I think if you're Crispy now, I think you just maybe just settle for where you are. We've got Paraquix making a move there on ads. So that's Para going up to P8. And he could make some gains, not having a penalty there. Going to jump back on Crispy because he's 2/10, 1/10. Is he going to make the move here on Dodgy? Dodgy's he's making it difficult as James gets by Bennett. But it looks like Crispy is by, and we'll see if Dodgy has anything left in the tank, or is he just going to happily settle for second place here. And we'll keep an eye on other timings to see who could be potentially making moves. Dodgy is really pushing here. By the way, we've not had him on board because he's had such an easy win. But I wouldn't say easy, but he's just managed to get himself out in front and get into a good position. But Josh wins the first sprint race of the evening. Crispy will finish behind Dodgy, and then we're going to have Southerner. I'm going to jump down here. Corey, that's the one I was looking for. And he finishes P5. So Southerner P4, Corey P5, Race Roller 6. God, a lot of people there changing at the end because of the penalties. So I believe it'll be up to UK Beast Assassin that will get points. I think he gets 1 point for finishing P8. And I believe, if I recall, it should be Jaylee Menz and Bennett on the front row for the second sprint race, I think. But yeah, I must say, well done to BCFC Josh 1232752. Yes, glad I remembered there. But yeah, stayed out of trouble. Saw that there was a lot of gaps, a lot of fighting behind, and just got away. And at the end of the day, it seems like he preserved his tyre management well. No mistakes, no time penalties. Absolutely solid there, picking up the victory. Division's retired. We're still waiting on a few people finishing. Oh, we should maybe let them see come to the line. So we'll see Baggy Fan swivel across the line. P16, quite close to where West Brom finished this season. And then Shot Metal in 17th, and then after that we'll wait on Owen to finish, and the Prema to give us the final 18. So it's going to be interesting as well. It's only one race admittedly, but Darnell being in 20th, we'll see how he does because he'll have to come back from there. And Division in 19th to see how they fare in this second sprint race. But we'll see where, if they decide to just go into the next game, or if it will be a restarted lobby. So we'll have a look. There's your podium anyway. 2 Union Jacks and St George's Cross is your podium. I'm trying. See, this is where it gets confusing as well, because they changed. I think it's still 1 point for fastest lap, but I think they changed qualifying. So it used to be like 2 points. I think it's now 1. I'm trying to, you see what it says, results weekend and results sprint race. I'm trying to RB it. So I'm assuming it would be 2 points in for fastest lap. I was going to see, because obviously you have the weekend, I was going to see for pole sitter was going to pop up. But Corey still has 6, so he'd be in total would be in 10 points then. So I wonder, that's the thing, they do have sprint race 2 and feature race. Hopefully we just carry on with the same lobby. So I'll take a wee breather. So it basically turns out I have all the issues that Mercs and various others had, but yeah, I could try that. See if we get a joy. Nothing at all. I think that's one of the ones where it will have to be a reinstall of Twitch, I think. So that'll be something I'll need to do from my end. Formation lap. But that is, I think, just the case everything that Mercs is and Sem have had previously. So I say I'll obviously look to reinstall Twitch if there is plans to be on comms in Season 9, which scarily is... Well, I don't know when that is, but obviously new games in the horizon, which is still kind of caught me off guard, but obviously the season I'll imagine will probably be a good month or so after that, maybe more, depending how broken the game is, because if you've saw the AI for the new game, well, you could argue it's Formula 2. Somebody's got really slow on their formation lap here. Josh has decided that, you know, he cruised a lot the last race, let's cruise even more, he better get his foot to the throttle as he is keeping half the grid behind him. Interesting enough, as well, just as we're on board here with Marsh and P11, Shot Metal and Division have opted for medium compound tyres. Now, this is one thing that was going to be interesting, is obviously you've got 3 races, but you've obviously got a limited tyre allocation, and it could be a case that someone could put themselves in a good position with tyre allocation, or could completely screw over their feature race. That remains to be seen. But the pack is all caught up nearly. Monkey's the one that's a wee bit far in the Bert Viscal Trident team car, but you can see there the cars are just ahead. You can see Mason Gammon just behind. So we'll jump on with the leader Jaylee Menz. I think we'll probably sit maybe on... Would you say Corey was one of the better, quicker starts the last time? Might stick on Beasts on board then, because that'll give you a good view of benefit there. No worries if there's any carnage into turn 1 into Alex Albon versus Lance Stroll corner. You can let us know. Really intrigued to see which drivers are going to take what line when the new game comes out, because obviously you can park your car on the start finish the line, so or the grid spot. Who'll kind of... That's true. So here we go. Lights are out. 3, lights 4, 5, and we are racing again. And that's a great start this time from Beast. He's absolutely nuked it. You can see here on the onboard. He's going to go 1-on-1 with Jaylee Menz, and Jaylee Menz is just going to have it. Try and see what we can see. The yellow flag. There's so many cars in quick succession. Oh, and there's a big gap, and then there's everybody else. Shot Metal's up to 10th. The guy started like 17th. We can see here it's all a bit claustrophobic in the first couple of corners. I wonder if we look at dodgy there, because you can see there, yeah, the car's really slow. I'm assuming that'll be some sort of frontline damage there as they're all squabbling. Darnell not making up as many places I would have thought he would have. But it's just going to be a few punchy corners here. You can see the usual suspects battling again. Race Roller out there with Paraquix and Corey as well. Crispy and Summerer all roaring to get some early gains here. And it's a place, well, all you need to do is get a good line as you'll see here, and it puts you in a good position. Bennett struggling, roller all over the back of him to the left. Paraquic's following in behind, he could be boxed in. And it looks like he is as Bennett manages to retain, and then it's just about setting yourself up for this long swooping corner to the right, then into the left. We'll jump to that as UK Beast Assassin is all over the back of Lee Menz. There's a terrible camera angle game, but here we go into the final, second to last corner, sorry. It makes the move, nice wee switch back. Who's going to get the better drive? And it looks like Lee Menz is going to go for the toe. Race Roller gets ahead of Paraquix, we'll see if we can jump on with that as well. As they come into turn 1, and it looks like Beast has just got the better line there, and he'll maybe look to try. Cool. I just seen that the camera angle behind, and there was just so many cars just all next to each other. Okay. Yep, everybody's still within DRS when it gets activated. Baggy Fan is the first one that's fell out of it. Doesn't seem like Dodge did have damage because he's joined up with this. Darnell's made his way up to P16, and Mason Gammon, the only person there pitting, and I just see the train, the Bennett train! As we've got a couple of moves there, Monkey on Marsh, we've got ads on Division, so Division maybe not quite getting the temperature at those medium compound tyres. Crispy and Para going side by side here. Crispy gets the drive, can Southerner follow through? He's had to yield a little bit there from that particular move, and here, out of nowhere, comes BCFC Josh there. See if he fancies a move on Paraquix. He'll be confident for that last race. And there's a little bang-to-bang wheel-to-wheel combat, and that's going to see Josh kind of have to take the escape side of the track there, and is going to allow Southerner back through, and that lack of momentum could see Shot Metal come through. We'll have a wee try and look here to see if we get both battles displayed. Corey's made a move on Race Roller, but there's so much happening as they take the drag into the last corner. Who's going to be braving the brakes? Josh goes a bit narrow. And it's just slotting by, but you can see them there, they're trying to break the toe as well. Up ahead. A good few battles here. Oh, somebody's taking the escape road. That's a narrow angle, and that's a wall. And tumbling down. There's a few. I've seen a few people being collected there. Crispy's round, as you say. And that is going to be a virtual safety car. But it's one of those tracks where when it bites, it takes a chunk out you. And we have seen a virtual safety car here just to calm things down. Try to see who are all the people there that seem to have been collected by that. So obviously, there are a few people ignoring yellow flags, maybe not adhering to the delta of Marsh and Ads there have been the two. Try to see if any of them have damage, and the thing is as well, when you've got a virtual safety car roundabout here, this is all about where this virtual safety car stops, because it could put you in a great position for a momentum carrier, or it could absolutely put you in a terrible position. Oh, if they don't have damage, it does now! Because of the start on the Bennett's went right into the back of him, and I just think that's just one. Here into Delta 1, not so much. We've got some battle here, James and Shot Metal. James makes the move into P7, but Shot Metal could just be trying to get those tyres up to temperature. And he makes the move, Southerner, on Paraquix. We'll just look, see if Para follows him through there. But I noticed there a few gaps started to open up there. UK Beast Assassin a wee second ahead of Lee Menz, a wee gap to Roller. And then this battle, Southerner and Para, Crispy and Bennett. Of course, this one won't have any real effect on future, as I say, grid placings. As I say, the grid is already set for the proper feature race, which will be coming up in 6 laps time. Darnell all over the back of Owen. Let's see if he wants to make a move here. He's going to have the DRS going into. Oh well, Owen just decides to go a wee bit wide there. not the greatest line in the world. Will that save him? Will that hinder him? And it's a move as well, potentially, by... I tell a lie, sorry, I think it was shot metal through. No, sorry, it was Azad to try to move. My stream icon covers P11. So I can't tell who it is. I think it is Azad's, aye. Oh, there's some debris kicked up in the air there. Oh, he's bump drafting on. What I'm intrigued as well, there is a purple sector there by Darnell. The fact he's in a bit of clean air, could we see him start to make a move into those points paying positions? Oh my god, out of nowhere there was Division. Oh, and then Richard Verschure's car, the ads car, has just decided... I don't know, I think I'd maybe say ads kind of just drove in there. He's lost his front wing now. Yeah. Did look like that. I would need to see more evidence on it, but from real-time viewing anyway, that's what that looked like. Right at the front roller, right on the back of Lee Men's now within the DRS. Look at the onboard, you can see the concentration. You can't see the concentration because of the helmet on, but you know what I mean. I think ads here, it's just a case of try and find a pair of tyres you've already used and just keep your tyres for the sprint race that's coming up. I wonder if that'll play into the mind of the likes of Crispy and Bennett as well. No move here, but Darnell showing the pace again as he gets ahead of James. James will try and fight back here, but I believe Darnell should. And what I'm intrigued with these two is how will these tyres cope? You know, will there be a noticeable difference when we get to lap 8-9? Will they get ahead? We'll see them move up for P3. We'll jump up to Lee Men's and Race Raw. There's an incident at the back. I think that might be Bennett, possibly. Yep, Bennett's had a spin. We'll see if Lee Men's there can power through with DRS. As I say, his best bet here is just set yourself up, put yourself in the best position possible, and then try and take that toe and just drag yourself right into contention here behind. You'll see the speed difference as well between him and Race Roller. As Mason Gammon picks up a penalty, a few moves as well. Monkey on Shot Metal. Ahmed Marsh will move there on Dodgy. We'll see if he gets close enough. I think he's been well covered there by Race Roller, but it's all about the drive out of here as he gets through the twisty section. As a bit behind, a bit of a squabble here between SLR and Paraquix. Oh, pardon me, Paraquix just coming out on top. Darnell's picked up a penalty in that. Owens also in the pits and also has a speeding 5-second penalty for that as well. And I think Corey got ahead of Dodgy. What is happening? Because that's my thinking with Division and Metal here, or Medal, it's one of those ones where, like, the medium tyre, if you get two sets, great, because you're going to need it in the feature. But again, like, usually the sprint gap is just enough. I'm on the onboard, let's see, as we get the time, it's just Bennett returning in pits. I'll probably get a better angle of these two squabbling rather than just Josh's onboard. But he makes the move on SLR Southerner, and that's Josh up to P5. Although there's going to be a bit of a fight behind as we'll jump on this Helicare, if you can see the delights of Saudi Arabia. And Southerner is going to try and squeeze in the inside there. Oh, a wee bit of a bit of lag there. But the car got a bit twitchy. And they're all going to be dragging each other along here. And Darnell, despite that 3-second penalty, up into P6. Remember, this guy started 19th or 18th, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was running about there. As Paraquix picks up a penalty, so that's going to be interesting because they're all in that wee DRS train. You get a nice wee gap ahead. See if we can take that on board to Josh. I want to see, intriguingly, in a Formula 2 car, how easy or how difficult it is to follow a car ahead, because obviously last season in the Formula 1 cars it's absolutely brutal with the dirty air. I've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that is a DNF for ads possibly, and that car has just came to a stop there, so I don't want to put a blame on anybody, but it might be a little, you know, press start, retire on track. But anyway, we'll have to have a look into that one for conclusive evidence. Paraquicks here, under pressure from Josh. A wee bit of wobble there from Josh, and it's the gap behind Darnell within the DRS. We'll see how he lines them up, and we'll also see Southerner just outside that I may have gotten it the last time. You can see Josh is eyeing him up, but look at the difference in entry speed there. Joe and Para's really slowed both of them down and killed their momentum. And this might even... Ah, he's too far behind. I was going to say bring Southerner into contention. Darnell's going to make this one free wide if he can find a space to put it. I think he's just going to be sensible here and take the DRS and take the tow. So Darnell's ahead of Paraquicks. A move here on Josh is probably vital if he wants to get himself in a good position and score some good points, especially with Crispy down in P17. Darnell sends it. Scotty gets the fastest lap. Who'll have the better exit? He's done it. As Luke says there, a fantastic move there. And some moves further down the field. There's Monkey gets ahead of James, and Corey gets ahead of Division. Good recovery drive, it must be said, by Corey, back up into P10. So a very good recovery drive there indeed. You can see there, Shut Metal has retired in the pits. That's the end of his evening so far. Of course, we still have the main race to go. And let's see if Corey can line up James there. As James, we caught that James, we caught that corner cut. You've been penalised with a 3-second penalty and a loss of position as well, as Corey takes P9. Back up to this battle ahead, you can see it looks on the onboard like there's quite a distance, but it's not even a second. You know what I mean? It's actually like the smallest gaps possible. And I think the one that's going to be most vulnerable here, I think, is possibly going to be Paraquicks. So I think Darnell might just drop them here. If he doesn't, then I mean, there's 3-second penalty at the moment. It's going to take him down to P7, P6 because they've done now. Oh, aye. Absolutely, absolutely. We'll see here as they come back down to the second to last corner. See the onboard the Southerner, see if he's got enough to get by Para. Para, of course, in the DRS of Josh. Good move there, and I think we're going to get Division and James just behind. I've hit the wrong button. Nah, Division defends it well. Good stuff there. As I say, that could be those medium tyres starting to take its advantage on suffering soft tyres. We'll see what Summer can do here. Still in this wee DRS string here. Also, I was going to say race roller with a penalty as well, but that's not really going to affect stuff unless Menz can get a second on him. But I think it's the same as Josh in the first race, just being out of the way, just chilling and getting the points in. He's broke the DRS. Going from there. Got to go with Monkey. Monkey's making some good inroads on Corey here. We'll see how this unfolds. Division lurking in the background. It's a shame that Shut Metal retired, because I'd be really intrigued to see more than one runner on the mediums to see how that did help with our race weekend. We'll keep an eye on the gaps, but at the moment in time, this and the Southerner Paraquicks are the two that seem to be just within the DRS range. I know for a fact that Southerner Oh! Yep, I saw the wobble, Daniel takes fastest lap of the race as he tries to pull away from Josh, but he's going to have a lot to do here to make sure that he stays ahead. And as they're going to send from Paraquicks. Oh, he was quick to pull out of that one. I'm here all week. But it was very good there, and Southerner retains. Monkey there trying to make a move on Corey. But doesn't. We get moved further down the field. Crispy there getting ahead of Baggy on one of the DRS runs. Oh, see if we can take a look at that one. Oh, Darnell picks up another one, and that's going to cost him. That's going to be 6 seconds worth of penalties. He could be looking at maybe just 1 or 2 points from this race. And with Crispy down in 15th, it was a kind of what if moment. What could have been. We'll jump to the Para one. Few guys picking up penalties down the bottom there, but I think it's one of these ones where if you're racing more just F2, I think it's a good learning experience for the weekend ahead, so you know where you can push the boundaries and where you can't. As Mason Gammon picks up a penalty, but we'll see here just the closing speeds there. With the DRS, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Screen again, all good. Zone picks up one. Well, it looks like it is going to be a victory here as I'll jump on board as he gets towed across the line. But it's going to be UK Beast Assassin that wins it. Race Roller in second with the penalty, of course. We're going to have Jaylee Menz take P3. So a good result there for the Division 3 commentator. Yep, fantastic from Josh in P4. As they just kept it penalty free and he's been rewarded with another handsome result. Sumner P5, Darnell P6. That's good for Darnell, as I say, from his starting position. Paraquicks into P7 and our last points by the smallest of fraction. I mean, I'm gutted for Monkey in that regard as well, because look at the gaps. Oh, we'll jump to it, Are we going to go Owen and Baggy? Owen takes an interesting line. Pride! It's Cambridge versus West Brom. Who will do it? Baggy's going to send it. It's Hal Robson Canada. I don't know if he still plays them anymore. Come on, Baggy, do it for Division 4. Come on, Baggy. Said that. Trying to blow his car across the line. There we go. The Liam Lawson car finishes P17. A fantastic battle at the end. Guys, thank you very much for that. And it is the Dams car of SLR Darnell that takes I was going to say P whatever. Driver of the day, of all things. So, having a look there, 15 for Beast. What annoys me is it won't let me right bumper it so I can check the weekend results so we can see who's got the most momentum going forward. Beast has left. Now I don't know if that is a restart or if it is... Make sure to get total points from these two as we're having a restart. Total points? That's not going to let me move across to get the total points for race 1, race 2. To be fair though, can you? If I don't know, is it going to let you see sprint race 1? If it doesn't let you see sprint race 1, and they need the results, it's all going to be in stream anyway, so they can come back to it. No worries. I'm just going to type in the chat and just say no worries. If it's post-session full results, it'll be archived on stream anyway. So it means tyre-wise, yeah, they should be in a good position. Because fresh tyres now. So that whole theory of division and shot metal doesn't really matter. So I'll do it, everyone else will do it, and I'll quit to the main menu. The only thing is, when it comes to who's going to be the top 3 over the course of the weekend, anyone good at maths? Oh, right, they can't remember the top 3. So if you can keep a note of that, like as many of the top kind of point scorers, because the reality is somebody who scored no points could easily come through and score 25 here and just completely change everything. But just so we can calculate it for what the point scorers have been for race 1 and race 2, add their points in race 3, and then we'll have our top 3 for interviews, which to be honest, because there's that much racing, I'm just going to say, how was your race weekend? Perfect, that's the graphic I wanted and I had no idea to get. So what we can do is actually update people, viewers that are watching. So at the moment, at the race weekend, Josh has a 7-point lead over the course of the weekend. He has 23 points, Roller has 16, UK Beast Assassin with 16, followed by SLR on 14, Dodgy and Crispy on 12, Corey on 11, Jilly Mains on 10, Darnell on 6, and Paraquix on 4. So yeah, 10 people have scored points so far, and there'll be at least 10 points paying positions going forward. So Josh, I believe will be starting P10 here, so he had a good run through the grid there, so there's an opportunity for him. But obviously you'll have your main guys up the front as well that'll be looking to try and get 25 points to their total. Look, did you get a invite to the lobby? You did not. I will fire you in. Oh, I just also realised as well, nobody will be able to hear Hebdy's voice. I'll probably put it in the chat. To say, well, unfortunately, no post-race interviews due to connecting parties not being able to tick box. I need to reinstall Twitch like Mixlet. So we'll set the grid and we'll have 14 laps. So that's quite interesting then. So 14 laps, right, and they're on. And they've been doing soft laps races on 10. I wonder what they go for here. I'm quite intrigued by that. Like, does somebody commit to a soft earlier, or did they just run and run and run that medium tyre? That's a great point. Not one safety. They're going to get a safety car, aren't they? It's really weird going to these races where you don't see any safety cars yet. Back in the day, at times when me and Molly done commentary, it was like, oh, here's another safety car free of the race. But yeah, it's been surprising. When we done the Division 3 at the time race last season around Saudi Arabia, we didn't have a safety car either. And I put that in our chat. Probably jinxed it. Put pressure on everybody for this weekend, but we'll see what happens here. Just make sure we've got everyone in the lobby. Let's have a look, see who's missing. So whoever's in the Jihan Deruvela car, we've got nobody in the Yuri Vips High Tech Racing. The Samaya car, of course, is retired. In memory to our good friend McEwen. I need to ask, I know the stream can't hear you, but notice yourself, Molly and Morris all took part in the memorial race on on Tuesday night. How did you find it? I just really that because obviously the stream can't hear. Look, but like you said, it was a fantastic experience. Great to race against drivers from lots of different divisions. It's got a good result, although the result at the end of the day doesn't really matter. And said it was some fantastic battles. And I did notice them. I did watch a few of the battles between you and Charlie. Really competitive. Especially, I think, was it just one race around Baku? Because that's where I saw a lot of the battle on. Because it's one of the ones, like, it's something I'd love to have done, but see, because it's a Tuesday, and Tuesday I don't really get settled down to about quarter past 8, and I'm like, that's touching it far too fine. So I managed to observe it and catch it. I say fantastic to see all the purple liveried cars there, many people with the purple helmets as well in the 95 in the car, but great to see so many people coming together. I think as you say there, the Just Given page, I think Rangaput was over 1,000 they had. If we look here, the update will jump on the SLR official Twitter page because that'll give us everything we need to see. Here's a wee update. So the target, as you say, yep, is 1,000 at the moment. It's at 570, so I'd say that's 57%, but the page is saying 56%. But as I say, a lot of recognisable names there. As I say, it's one of the ones like people are always like in the section we've got on Discord. That's like the forecast bit basically, and it's all like the previous comments. And I just checked my DMs and I saw it, and I was just like, it was obviously at the time. Me and Mertz were doing a lot of the commentary, and I was just like making sure lobbies were fine and getting everybody in and who did starts and that. But I always remember it's the second to last F2 race I commentated on. So obviously I done Bahrain at the start of last season. It was his final F2 race, and the battle he put up around Abu Dhabi was it was just such a joy to watch. Honestly, I want to say it was him and Roller. It's obviously a wee while ago now to try and remember, but as I say, the battle was fantastic, and especially the bit of the track in Sector 2, you know, where they've done away with it now, but there's that wee kind of like chicane, and the battles they had coming out of that was tremendous. It really was. I think it's just because it was the end of the season that time, and Eddie was just going for it, but the battle was phenomenal. But it's good to see so many people turning up and paying tribute in such a fun way, and I hope, as I say, when they do the football event, that everybody has a fantastic time. Just one of the ones that's the other side of the British Isles for me, so I'd need to leave soon. And we, by the way, are getting ready to go racing. We are racing. Well, I say we're getting ready to go racing. We're entering the lobby. Are you ready for? You know, when we'll be sitting in the lobby, we'll be in somebody's wee F1 Life house thing, chilling on people's sofas and seeing their supercars. There's 20 people in there. Like, right, how you doing, mate? That kind of thing. It's. I don't really get that. I don't really get it for lobbies. I don't get it for lobbies, buddy. I really don't. You know what I mean? You're talking, 20 people. All right, like my couch. Like my I like the idea. I like how they explained the car. It was inspired by the Pirelli Fast Laps, which fair enough, I get that. I've seen Jimmy Butler completely going mental when he was I think it was Lando Norris that was driving him around. It would have been Montreal, I think. Was it Montreal? It mm-hmm. 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 as long as you're quick. It's interesting you say the thing about social media. Do you think they should add like a little mini game where it's Instagram? You just go like by Pierre Gasly. You just sit and like stuff. I did like the little video that AlphaTauri put out on social media with that, because it was a case of just spreading good vibes. I'm like, do you know what? You actually are. You're just saying, you know what? Yes, yes, yes. I'm like, it's a positive, it's an uplifting thing. Sure, it's not a wee like on social media, but at the same time, like, that could make somebody's day. It generally could. So, like, fair play to Pierre, or as some people want to call him, as Pedro Giasio, depending on what you've seen on social media over the last... Jorge Russell. Oh, it did give me a wee chuckle. Go on, Jorge. We are 3 seconds away from the formation lap here. We'll see who is going to take what sort of tyres. Oh, somebody's very slow off the line there, race roller. But we'll jump and we'll get all the details we need to know. And a lot of people are going with a medium tyre. They're not anticipating a safety car. We can see there Corey, Race Roller, Crispy 1, 2 and 4 on the softs. Mason Gammon in 11th. James and Baggy 17th and 18th. But my thinking is, are Corey and Race Roller and Crispy under the impression just get away? Quicker tyres, bolt, avoid the carnage. And then if there is carnage, you'll get to obviously get that pit stop possibly taken, pending when it is. Of course, you can't pit in the first couple of laps of an F2 race. But that's interesting. What you like to see as well is 2 title rivals on alternative strategy with Darnell there on the mediums. So obviously Crispy will be looking to try and just stay ahead of his opponent in the bid for the Formula 2 Championship. Because if he can get a lightning start for 11th, he can be a spanner in the works. Also intrigued as well, likes of Shot Metal. Oh, forget what I was going to say. I was like, oh, how are they going to do another set of medium tyres? It's a brand new lobby. They're fresh, they're fine, they'll have no issues at all. It's a shame if they used both tyre compounds. I'd love to see well, I suppose that was a sprint race, but I'd love to see the Charles Leclerc soft, or the lowest compounded tyre it was at that particular race at Bahrain, which, if you've never seen it on YouTube, oh my god, watch it. It's mental. The fact that he takes a pit stop and still wins the race when everyone else didn't. So we're getting ready to line up here. Let's see, I think for my on board, I'll sit with the stream on Crispies, because he'll be P4, it'll be the furthest back on the softs that's in the top 10. If you want to let us know how wild a start Gammon gets, yep. We'll see, because of course he is only just a point away from a place away from a point, so he could shoehorn himself in with an excellent start and some good defensive driving, although could be vulnerable at the tail end of the race. See everyone there at the back starting to filter into position, just waiting there for Shot Medal even, sorry, and Division. We're all stationary, the marshals are ready at the right hand side of the track. The clock is at 10 past 2, if you notice that little Rolex thing there. And we'll get ready to race. We are on board with Crispy, let's see how the launch is. It looked okay, it didn't look, well, I was going to say it looked okay, it didn't seem too much, but then everybody was on the same compound attack. I'm going to try and filter for the field here to see if there is any carnage into turn 1 and 2. Somebody's a wee bit wide at the back there. Oh, there's a big crash, and that's a Prema that's round. And it's J-Lee Menzin on there. I've got Dodgy in a battle here, and he's got ahead of Southerner. We'll try and follow that. I can see ahead Darnell is with Beast. Ads is getting passed by Monkey. We'll try and drop back up here. Oh. We'll try and jump to that as well. Is there? Because I see a train, I don't see a crash. Ah. Oh, Josh is all over the place, and that's caused a little bit of damage there to Ads, and he's in AI because I think he's trying to take a clip, and the pace of the car there is putting the Gammon is round. Yep. So I keep an eye on his connection. We need to get him pulse like, but up at the front, Corey is. I don't know. He's going to possibly win the race. To be fair though, the soft runners at the start have all had an explicit start there. They are the top three, and then you rest your soft runners 15th, 17th, and 18th. Maybe a bit too aggressive in some part, or maybe just a case of bad luck. But Corey is going to size up Race Roller. He can see just how close they are, and they're all in tow. And as I say, if Beast and Darnell can stick with them in the DRS, as we get moved down further back, Marsh and Bennett. Have we look at the onboard on Paraquix, you can see there, Bennett's got the outside line a little bit ahead. Marsh is just going to slot in behind. That's probably sensible, you're not going to win races in lap 1. As I say, just keep your tyres ticking and go from there. There's a really close gap at the front, sorry if you don't like quick cuts. But yeah, I'm not the best director at this. Let's see now here, we've got Josh and Ads are still fighting out at neck and neck, but it's just so close at the front. I want to keep a wee eye on this one. Between Roller, James has had an off, I believe. Yep, because that is a few guys by. And that's the thing as well, if his tyres are short, you may as well drive another lap or two, because you can't, you have to wait 3 laps before you can take that mandatory pit stop. A bit of wobble there for Corey in P2. But that's the thing, he has to wait. He has to wait it out, unless he pits onto the medium. Well, he still has to take a pit stop, pray for a safety car as Roller goes way wide there, and then possibly brings himself back in with a safety car and another set of softs. If he has another set of softs, but he's losing time, 7 seconds behind J. Lee Mens. I would, but we've got the same gap between the front two, and I think Corey's going to try and set him up here. But they haven't really ditched the medium runners, which I find interesting. A few moves further back. We'll try and get as many people in this shot as we can, because there's a lot of battles. Oh, I see it, and that's somebody in the pits. That's Ads getting that wing damage. I think lap 3, I believe he can now pit. And it looks like Marsh is ahead of Bennett, followed by Paraquix. And there's a bit of wobble. Josh picks up a penalty down in P12 as Gammon gets ahead of Baggy Fan. There's a off somewhere, I think that's I don't know what that was with the yellow flag for a car in the pits, but yeah, car carries on. Okay, and James retired and his race done. Stick at the front. Good battle here between the top 3 as Baggy's head of division, so the soft tyres are really working for Baggy so far. But the top 3, and as I say, Darnell is in a great position here. If there's no safety car, this puts him in a really decent position that he's hanging with these soft runners. It's just how long will they take these tyres in the race. You can just see there, it seems like in the straight just loses a bit of time. So he's going to have to try and brave out, and you can see behind as well, Shut Metal is gaining a little bit, but Josh is in this kind of like train here, and I think he's just going to get backed up more into the drivers ahead. You can see just how close it was there, I think, between Paraquix, who's right on the back of Bennett. Is he going to try and make a move into the final turn? He does. He's going to make it stick though, as Crispy and Corey dueling fastest laps. Let's still change for lead, let's chat. As Corey and Race Roller, Crispy right behind as well. And they've managed to get a few guys pitting this. It's all guys on medium tyres that have all pitted there. So that must have been a lot of wing damage, so we've lost Paraquix. Okay, that's interesting. So I just want to confirm as well, we have a few people there that had to pit for medium tyres, so we lost the likes of Josh to that, who's since retired, but I think a lot of people maybe picked up damage and just waited till lap 4 before they could pit. So Paraquix, Bennett, Division all on mediums, I'm assuming J. Lee Mens and Owen will also go on to the soft tyres as well. And Ads is back in again. I think he realised he maybe didn't set this to the end of lap 3, not during lap 3. As I try to explain that, but yeah, we are back up and running. Corey in the lead, followed by Race Roller, followed by Crispy. Look at Gavin's connection. Yeah, I can see the car was jumping up a bit there. The problem is though, he's not really near anybody, but the car is hoppity hoppity hop. Oh, and he's just went rearing into a wall, and yeah. We'll see what he does, and we'll make a decision on that. Dodgy is pitting, Darnell is pitting, both on medium tyres, but they maybe feel they're just going to go the full race on softs, maybe get that pit stop in early. I would be surprised if they've got damage. I'm going to follow the Darnell pit stop to see if it is just strictly tyres. Yep, no front line change, so they are gambling early that these tyres can go the 9 laps, which we know they can, but will they die? That is the thing. Roller, by the way, that's probably sensible, good man. Appreciate that, Mason. We've got Corey right on the back of Race Roller. So Roller took the lead while we're kind of looking at the commotion of is there damaged front wings, and yeah, the front 3 have peeled away. I find that interesting, by the way. The medium runners pitted before the softs, so it could be the case though, they've got the tyre data from the 2 sprint races, that they feel that the pace wasn't going to be much better on the mediums like further into the run, and that the softs were as competitive. So that's all I can think of, is we'll get a nice wee battle here, and Corey takes the lead ahead of Roller. But should I give away my previous strategy? As Crispy's the one? Ah, definitely not. And gets the 5-second penalty for speeding a pit lane. And the one I find interesting, by the way, look at the first person on fresh tyres. Darnell, P9. He's got a lot of fresh air in front of him, but you can see there now everybody's decided to pit. The only people that haven't now are Southerner and Shut Metal. That is the 2. Everyone else has opted, and the people that haven't are the people that are obviously already on the softs. I'm intrigued that Baggy's given up on the softs already. I wonder if he'd want to try and stick it out and then pit later for the mediums. Just this battle for the lead we should probably keep an eye on. Division is retired. Could that be a safety car? It's on the final Max Verstappen corner. We'll try and jump on board and hope that there's no change at the front here, and see if Menz is going to approach it. It is! Oh, and Menz nearly scalps him. You'd think if there was going to be a safety car that the FIA would, you know, maybe decide to hurry up and make a decision. What, is a safety car around here? Yeah, exactly. Could be something to keep an eye on over the course of the weekend, but the Corey takes the lead there. Good move by Corey, and now Race Roller I think is going to be DRS. Let you see the difference in speed, and you can just see there. Will he fight it back? Oh, and that looked very, very close, but I think it was just 2 very experienced drivers there, showing some good stuff there. Interestingly, so what I'm going to get interesting here is, look, remember I said that it was between Crispy and Darnell in the championship. Crispy took that 5-second penalty into the pits. Look who's just ahead of who with a second, and that second could have been the big difference between slowing down and not slowing down. I say he doesn't need to win the race, he just needs to keep himself competitively ahead of Darnell, and even if he does finish 1 or 2 places behind, it's not the end of the world, but he knows that he's got his closest challenger in his wing mirror. But of course the difference between softs and medium will be quite interesting. I think he has got the tyres up to speed, but it's going to be how quickly that DRS can pull Darnell right up to the back of him, and if he can make the attack happen. But speaking of attacks, Corey right behind Race Roller as they enter the final corner and get ready for the 2 and for the DRS along the straight, and both decide to pit on lap 7. And Roller speeded. He's sped in the pits. Race Roller has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits, so that's going to catch a lot of people out this weekend. Owen Howell also gets a 3-second time penalty, and something else popped up there that went and gone straight away. And I think Roller even get held up as well leaving the pits, so that's not going to be ideal for him. But he's still ahead of Corey. And Southerner is your race leader, and for him I think he's just going to keep driving and driving and driving. But now we've got the big battle between the 2 championship protagonists. Crispy and Darnell can see the onboard there, and just decided to get involved as Race Roller, and he's slotted right in the middle of them, and that is not going to be ideal if you're Darnell, because this is all for position. And how quickly will Roller get those tyres up to temperature, and will Crispy be able to pull out the DRS? You can see the difference in grip as they try and get through the corners. Roller struggling a little bit just to put the temperature in, and it's very easy here that Darnell could get some sort of track limits violation. But if you're Crispy here, I'd ease off the pace. I'd let Race Roller just sit in your DRS, drag him along. Hopefully Darnell's gets stuck behind him, but we'll see. Darnell a bit wobbly there, the dirty air, as I've seen there. So I can now see why a lot of people kind of justified their selection and taking the softs. There's not really too many people in DRS. There's one at the back there, Owen and Bennett, but everyone else is kind of like a second between them. But we'll keep on the on, but just to see the pulling along that both cars are going to get. You could see a position here where Roller, Darnell and Crispy are all going to be free wide going into the first corner on the next lap. And believe it or not, we're already going to be into lap 10, not lap 9, because obviously Southerner's a mile up the road. My bad. So let's see, and this is the thing, it's just going to hamper Darnell as well, the fact that both of these guys have 5-second penalties. Roller goes to the right, Darnell, you can see, he looked at it, you could see there was a wee hint, do I go for it, do I not, and just decides to back out it. And as I say, yep. You can see how close Darnell as well gets to the barriers as well at the side. One small mistake and that could be a front wing, and that could be curtains. And you wonder as well, this squabbling, this battling, and of course 3-lap old softs, eventually could that drag Corey back into this race? I'm intrigued. Southerner might come out, I want to say, oh, right at the back there. Crispy and Darnell again. You can see you could probably throw a... I was going to throw a bed sheet over the freedom, but let's be honest, these cars are that big these days, you probably couldn't. But they're so close in this, I think it's going to be just toes and DRS all the way to the end. And I'm intrigued, I think this will be the lap we see Southerner pit. I'd be very surprised if it's not. Surprised there hasn't been many more with some of the lines people are taking, but Crispy again, just putting his car in a good position. He'll be... What do you think he'll come out? I want to say a bit monkey, but even further. You can see there, Crispy makes the move. I get confused there because obviously Southerner's dropping down the positions, but it's going to be Crispy in the lead, Race Roller second, Darnell third. We've got a yellow flag, that is I think Owen Howell. We'll quickly try and see if we can jump to Owen. She went the other way on this. The car's just starting to get a bit of speed together. Jump back onto this battle because look at how close they are, and you've got, as I say, Corey within a second You've got Beast within a second. And by the way, can I just say, we said somewhere way down, P7, just 3 seconds behind Dodgy. He could definitely get involved in this, by the way. He's going to need a lot of great laps, but why not? You have fresh tyres, you're not going to really be squabbling for a lap or two. Just interesting, it's such a gap between the first couple of cars. I just feel the onboard gives you such a better visual representation of how close and how powerful the certain elements is. At the moment, Darnell is taking the win on track. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2, and that is, I think, Jaylee Menz, I want to say. Possibly with an issue there. I don't know, maybe even letting cars through. Possibly. They got so close. With Darnell pinned up against the wall, they're all going to get the toe on Crispy. He's boxed in, race roller. Darnell goes round the outside. And Darnell takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and Crispy's going to fight it back because he's right up the rear, and then there's Owen, the back marker. He's possibly could see himself having to go, oh crap, there's 3 guys behind me, I better move. Or will he Alex Alb on it? I just decide, oh, that's a lap later. But some great racing there between the top 3, Darnell, Crispy and Race Roller. And you can see there, just not even a second, 7 tenths, 8 tenths. Corey's in the DRS train as well. This could get interesting as we head towards the end of the penultimate race of the SLR F2 season. You can see Darnell start to pull a little gap out here. We'll stick on board with Race Roller, the third of these drivers, as they get ready to enter the twisty section, or the long twisty section here, where they'll get very quick speeds here. Not quite what we'll see in the Formula 1 car, but it still will be epic nonetheless, as Jaylee Menz is giving up for the evening. We'll see him. May as well, 3 laps to go. He's in the pits. I would, just in case if you can, bud. I know it's 3 laps and he's a bit down, but maybe he wants to finish it. Let's see what Owen does here. He's going to end up giving Darnell, of all things, DRS. So Darnell like, cheers buddy, I'll take that DRS, I'll take that tow, I'll take that slipstream. And yeah, just drives through him. Owen pulls off to the side. No, he doesn't actually pull off to the side. This could be distracting for Crispy's braking spot. But yeah, it's going to aid with DRS. Owen's going to get DRS as well. He's getting the blue flags. He is, of course, on fresh tyres, so maybe that could be his complaint. You know, I'm on fresher tyres. I should be able to try and repass. And it's a send from Roller as he went deep, as he's got to try and keep the car on the track. And Owen's car's not in the best position here. He finally backs off, and it's going to allow these to try and get the Owen. I wanted the Owen on board there to get this battle. You could see Corey through as well. I'd go, Owen's in a wall. Oh no, I need to jump back to Corey now. And you can see how close they are on the onboard. It's like one small mistake by Crispy could take all 3 cars out here. He could collect them. Yeah, I think that's one that if people do want to put that in, like, I can absolutely accept that, because you know, he really should be obeying those blue flags. He can obviously say I'm on fresh tyres, but the reality is these are 3 guys going for the lead here. Even if Ghosting's on, it really should not be happening. He should be yielding. This is true, there is nowhere to go. That is a very good point. In Saudi Arabia, there's not any room for runoff. You go way off the racing line, but now we get Roller again. Roller the back of Crispy. And Corey's getting a bit of a drive here as well. I hope these guys do like the onboards, by the way, because I just say I think it gives a far better picture of how much the difference in tow is. It probably gives a better idea of how well they follow, though. It's all getting quite heated here, but as I say, oh, look, so close and a bit of a weave and a wobble, but Corey gets by. I hope it's Corey and not Corey, but no. When you've called somebody for 20 plus year, you can't go with it. And they'll have the toe into the tunnel. Go when Crispy's on board, because that'll give you the idea of who's going to be following who. He's just going to go straight. He's not going to try and fight for entry point position. Race Roller and Corey. It's weird with Corey, do you attack, do you defend here? Because like you've got the 5-second advantage on these 2 guys. Now what do you do? Beast, by the way, we did mention, could get involved. This squabbling has brought him into the fray. He doesn't have a penalty, so your top front three at the moment would like to be Darnell, Corey and Beast. And if you're dodgy, if you can find 2 seconds from somewhere, then you might be in a position to put a bit of threat on Race Roller and Crispy. It does seem, by the way, that Darnell has checked out, so he is... I was wondering what Nicky was meaning there. I get you. Well, I think that's... I mean between they three, not me, like, panicking people. I'm just in the battle here. Corey leads again from Race Roller. Sorry, second, third and fourth in this battle. Beast then involved as well. Everybody else is right out within DRS. There's a few gaps there. Some are catching up to Dodgy. Baggy fan on the back of Shot Me. That'd be class. See Baggy get a point. I don't know how the penalty situation is. I don't want to spoil it. Come on, Baggy, get a point. Do it for Division 4. Marsh is doing it for Division 4. Why can't you? Oh, Baggy, come on! It's a penalty. I just jinxed them, didn't I? Terrible. Ah, don't tell me this. I think these three are just going to leave it to... Well, to be honest, Corey can just kind of defend and say, like, here guys, you just want to pass, go for it. But now these two on the 5-second penalty, Roller and Crispy. One gets by, one doesn't. To get away, or to get the move done. Doesn't have a great exit. Gives you an idea how close they are. Look at the difference in line there. Corey was right up the back of Roller, a wee bit of bump draft at the back. Roller's going to keep it just within the limits there. And that's allowed Darnell to stretch the gap to 2.8. Come on, Baggy! Come on, Baggy! Why? No! The gap was going down. I thought he was making a move. But could we see Baggy? I'm absolutely jumping on this battle, and then we'll quickly switch back to the front three because I'm probably at a part of the track where you can't really overtake. We'll keep an eye on the gaps. Is Baggy going to make the move here to get a point? I think we may need to come back to this one. He's also going to have to defend from Monkey as well. Come on, Baggy! Oh, he's backed out. We'll jump to the front again. We can see this battle. Darnell opened up a 3-second gap. He has picked up a penalty, by the way. So, if you're Corey, you might want to dislodge Race Roller or just pray to God that this toe can get that gap within 3 seconds. So it's going to be very close. I think Darnell may just edge it because he's maintained that 3-second gap on Roller. And does Corey take the... He takes the DRS and the passing move here, so we could go right to the end. Bennett could have been a bit of a thorn in the works, or could be an assistance here. Darnell goes to the line. This is going to be really, really tight. Who takes the win? Darnell crosses the line, takes fastest lap. And loses by 0.070. I don't even know what that is, but Corey has stolen it. Or has he stolen it? He's won anyway. Takes the win in the most dramatic of circumstances. Just a really good run to the line. And he's done it with the minimalist of margins. Darnell in second. Beast Assassin takes P3. Race Roller down in P4 after the penalty. Crispy just behind, as we mentioned. We have Dodgy P6. Southern P7. Paraquicks. Marsh. Ah, Baggy. I can see them. I can see them just ahead. Well, in fact, Baggy's probably got the best perspective of this. This is for the final point, pending penalties, of course, between Monkey, Ads, and Shot Metal. Monkey has the lead. Ads is trying to get a better run at it. He'll have DRS. Try to use the best perspective here. Monkey's going to go to the line. Who's going to get it? Ads gets it on penalties, I think, because they'll finish at the same time. That was wild. Trying to keep up with it was wild because there was so many good toes and all that sort of thing. But for a return to F2, that was everything I expected it to be and everything I wanted it to be. So kudos to the drivers for putting on a fantastic show. And it must be said, you guys have just done 3 races around Saudi Arabia and we did not have a safety car. Absolutely stellar stuff. Well done. We unfortunately won't have any post-race interviews because I need to tick the box option isn't a thing. So if I can quickly get the graphic up from Facebook, it's on my phone. Quick. So Corey initially had 11 points, he'd be on 36. 28 he'll be in total. Can you take a photo of that and fire it in the chat as well? I can try and do maths and... Oh yeah, he's definitely got it, 36. Southerner 14, he's got 20 overall. Josh might have still made top 3, despite no score in that last race. That is how good his things are. Roller 28 was said. Crispy got 10 and Crispy had 12, season 22. It could be up there. But anyway guys, we will end the stream there. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, I'll be back to SLR, it's normal Twitch channel, hopefully for the remainder of the races. If not, as I say, if you're on the Discord, the relevant streamer and their Twitch channel will be pointed out. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, is Ellis and crew take to the field in Division 2 for their run of Jeddah. Saturday is 6 o'clock for Division 3, 9 o'clock for Division 4. Yep, I'm going to have to try and find a way to watch Canada. It's qualifying. And the McEwen Division will be racing at 4:30, I believe, on Sunday before the race. And then Division 1 takes place on Monday. We never actually asked in the chat because we were like so consumed by the race. But yeah. If you either want to ping it in the chat or you want to ping it in the Discord general, just at me or Ellis, let us know who your driver of the day was, and we'll put one forward. And I think we need to do it for every race, but it's archived anyway, so we'll look back and we'll file it in the chat. But cheers for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of, well, I was going to say the rest of your weekend. You're still Friday to go. Our weekend's just begun. I'm fine, I'm in the party mood already. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of the SLR season, and hopefully we'll see you as well for Formula 2 next week. Will be in Abu Dhabi. I'll probably be drunk, so it won't be me streaming. But until then, I'll see you all soon.